I've said this before, and I said this when it first started with Kyrie Irving. This is wishful reporting because you want something to happen. You hope something happens. It's better for our business if something happens. Who cares if facts are going to get in the way? And we said it at the time. Brian Windhorst of the Mothership said it. This is an impasse, and there's leverage here. You're trying to get leverage. No, nothing happened here. Now, that didn't stop people from going, Kyrie to the Lakers, sign and trade. Kevin Durant will be the next out the door. Kevin Durant to the Blazers. Like we just went wild. And as I said at the time, let's say I was getting divorced, and I just put out there that there are 6 women that I'd like to date. Now, I haven't contacted those 6 women like Kate Beckinsale or Jennifer Aniston, but those are the 6 women, I would put out there, not thinking, do they want to date me? Well, Kyrie put out a list of teams, 6 teams that, hey, I would go here. I didn't hear any of those teams that said, yeah, we're interested in Kyrie. The only team was the desperate Lakers, and they're trying to do something. And it didn't happen. Would Kyrie take $6 million and leave $30 million on the table? I didn't rule it out because it's Kyrie, but still, this was a lot about nothing. And everybody ran crazy with it. And I just thought, I've been at an impasse with negotiations before. And I give a lot of credit to the Nets because they said, all right, go ahead. See what's out there. You're going to get a reality check. And he did. He's like, yeah, all right, I'll go back. Now, I thought KD was going to get involved and say, hey, give him the max because I got 4 more years here. And we can win a championship here. But Kyrie is going back for 1 more year. And he had a quote that he sent out. Normal people keep the world going, but those who dare to be different lead us into tomorrow. I've made my decision to opt in. See you in the fall. Okay, some Jedi mind games there. Like, okay, Kai. Normal people keep the world going, but those who dare to be different lead us into tomorrow. I've made my decision to opt in. See you in the fall. Yeah, Paul?
He's a trailblazer, all right. Just taking the easy 1-year contract.
Yeah.
This is the opposite of what he did. It's the opposite. He took the safe route of the highest offer and didn't try to play
He was a
someone.
normal person.
Right.
Yeah, he was the normal people, not the trendsetter being different.
What he did last year was different. What he did last year, missing games,
yeah,
that was different.
Yes, that was. Yes,
Did Paul just report that Kyrie's going to Portland?
He said a trailblazer.
Kyrie is a trailblazer. Stop.
Oh,
end quote.
Yeah, cap.
Full stop. Full stop. That's it. That's the tweet.
All right, what's poll question, Seton?
Dan, we went with who's going to play more games for the Nets next season.
Okay.
Why not?
Okay.
Snarky Tuesday?
All right.
Is that what today is?
I don't know if it is. It's Kick Your Feet Up Wednesday. I know that.
Right now, sadly, Kyrie Irving has 100% of the vote. No offense, Ben Simmons.
Well, I'm looking at the numbers here that Kyrie Irving has played. I go back. Now, this has to do with injury as well. He played 11 games in his only season at Duke. Then it was Cleveland, 51, 59, 71, 75, 53, 72. Went to Boston, 60, 67. Then went to Brooklyn, 20, 54, 29. He's played in just under 70% of his games. But if I look at what's happened in the last 3 years, it's 20 games, 54 games, 29 games. That's 45%. I mean, this is a guy who I think took 3 days off for a birthday party during the season. Just
birthday week, Dan.
Birthday week.
It's a new thing.
Well, I know. But I just can't count on him. He's great. And if I'm Kevin Durant, he's probably going, okay, do I want to put up with this for 1 year? Because we're going to be talking about this. What if they don't play well? What if at the All-Star break they go, you know what, maybe we should trade him? But if I'm Kevin Durant, I got to look at this and say, I'm locked in for 4 years. Do I want to hitch my wagon to him? And maybe Kyrie plays great, final year of his contract, and then they give him an extension. But this feels like if they don't get a championship out of this, what a failed experiment. When they first got together, and we thought, okay, worst case scenario, you're going to win one title. Like, you have to win one. Tom Brady going to Tampa, Tom, you better win a championship. All right? He did. But this, you got to have something to show for this. But you look in the East, Milwaukee is still going to be very good next year. Miami is still going to be very good next year. Boston, if Boston figures out, finding somebody that they can count on to handle the ball in crunch time, I mean, this is going to be a tough out. Cleveland, I think, is still, if they were able to get another player in there, I mean, Cleveland is young and they may not know better, but that's a good team that's building a little bit there. So there's competition here. And I think if you're Brooklyn, and I don't know if they can get DeAndre Ayton. Somebody is getting DeAndre Ayton. I don't know if he's going to go back to Phoenix, but I think the Nets have moved up considerably in odds to get DeAndre Ayton. If that would happen, now you got everybody's attention here. And this might be a one-and-done run if you want to see if you can hold on for dear life with Kyrie, playing for you. Yeah, Paul.
The past 5 years, everyone in the media has said that the West, NBA West, is where all the teams are stacked. Does that feel different? Like what you're saying right now, you mentioned 4 teams that could compete for a title in the East. In the West, you may not have that many. I mean, the Grizzlies are good, the Suns are good, the Warriors, obviously. The Mavs don't feel like they're on the cusp of the title. The Jazz feel like they're cooling off a little bit.
Yeah, definitely.
The Nuggets.
You got the Clippers.
Yeah, they won 42 games.
Clippers, well, Vegas has them as the favorites.
They were 42-40.
Well, they didn't have anybody. Everybody was injured.
Yeah.
Get those guys back. They're healthy. And you got John Wall. I don't know.
I think betting on Paul George and Kyrie Irving or Kawhi Leonard to be healthy for a season is almost as risky as the Nets guys.
Well, you got Clippers, Warriors, Celtics have the same odds. The Bucks right there, and then you have the Nets after that. That's 2 in the West and 3 in the East. Yes, Eden.
With the Nets, though, you get the sense that it's going to be a monster year for a guy like Seth Curry, somebody who could shoot the lights out, but is sort of the 4th guy on that team where you don't have to worry about Ben Simmons. Nobody's game planning for you, so you're probably going to be left wide open. You have to imagine that he's looking at this being like, dang, I could really do something this season.
It's fascinating to me that this is one of those, we don't know if it's going to work, but if it does, we're going to be dominating. If you figure out Ben Simmons, his role, if Ben Simmons figures out Ben Simmons, if Kyrie is all in, KD all in, Joe Harris coming back, they have a good roster. I don't know. It feels that they have odd positions there. Who's your forwards? Like, this is a league that is really prevalent with great wing players, like guys who can play both ends, can guard on the perimeter. They can also shoot from the perimeter. And I don't think the Nets have that. They have KD, but feels like they have an odd mix there. Because Ben Simmons is the size to be one of those wings. He doesn't play that way. Yeah,
he's got to be a forward, right?
Yeah. He might be a point forward for this team. It might be a Draymond Green type of role for him because he's a defensive player of the year, rebounder, good passer, not a good shooter. I just think if he got confidence at the free throw line, that's all I would ask him to do. Be confident at the free throw line. If you can make 70 to 75% of your free throws, then we're fine. It's just mind-boggling that I sit here and I'm a better free throw shooter than Ben Simmons is. Yes, Marv.
If I'm Bruce Brown, all summer long, I'm at the three-point line. I just become PJ Tucker. Like a guy like him.
Yeah,
he's just one of those guys. Yeah.
He's a good player.
Good player.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
Just stay at the three-point line.
Yeah. I don't. There must see TV. This is where you do a reality show. You want to do a reality show on a sports team? The Nets. Steve Nash's role, ownership, Kyrie, KD, Ben Simmons, maybe a Kardashian in there or two. Yes, Marv.
I feel like Kyrie would be like Pedro Serrano. Who knows what's at his locker room? What's in his locker?
Burning incense or whatever he's doing there.
Joe Boo.
Yeah. Well, then there was talk that maybe Ben Simmons could end up in Phoenix for DeAndre Ayton. Like, there's a lot of talk that goes on. And then I'm thinking, well, that's not going to be good because didn't Ben Simmons date one of the Kardashians that Devin Booker's been going out with?
I can't keep track.
I know it is.
Kendall Jenner.
Yeah, Kendall Jenner.
Yeah, she's got a type.
Yeah, she does. Yeah. Wow. All righty. 877-3DP-SHOW, email address, dp@danpatrick.com. I would say she likes shooters, but, Ben Simmons can't shoot. Do you think she found that out? She's like, hey, you can't shoot. I got to go with somebody who's a good shooter.
Why don't you go score points?
Yeah.
Why don't you go
Why
don't you go score more points though?
Why don't you go score some touchdowns or something? You know,
Do you shoot the ball?
Why don't you kick some touchdowns?
How
there?
come you don't shoot the ball?
Yeah,
Let me see what Devin Booker's up to.
yeah. D Book,
Sure did.
yeah. She probably went to a Laker game and went, all right, that guy can shoot. I like him.
When you were under the hoop, why didn't you dunk the ball?
Yeah. Why?
Why did you pass it there? But then you normally someone dunks the ball, you could dunk the ball, but you passed it. Why did you do that?
Wouldn't that be great on the Kardashians if they actually sat around and Kendall Jenner, Kyrie, I can't keep up with them. There's Kendall and
Kylie and
Kim and Cupcake
Jenner.
Chloe.
Chloe. That's the
Chloe.
Oh, Chloe got a type too. She like
Yes,
her some
she
ball
does.
players too.
Yes, she does.
Oh, what's up, girl?
Marvin.
I think Chloe doesn't like shooters either because Tristan Thompson can't shoot. Yeah, see, they don't know basketball. I got to help them a little bit. What do you think of Tristan Thompson? All right, decent looking guy, but he can't shoot. What about Ben Simmons? Decent size, he can't shoot. What about D Book? Yeah. Nice jumper.
I'm sure that's what they said.
No, but just to have them, talking about this during one of the episodes of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, it'd be awesome.